makes season planning look easy. The mandate was to continue to deliver extraordinary programs to the community while keeping expenses flat as we are recovering from COVID. So he will tell you all about that. It's my pleasure to invite Nir to come and share those exciting plans.
Hello everyone, so nice to be here. Looks like Chapel at the Medici Palazzo, something like that. Like amazing. And that's pretty much what they used to do, the brass up there. That's an invention of the Venetian school, the church of San Marco. Let's see that. That's the next thing we will do. Of course, many factors that comes to creating a season. And it is probably the most important duty of a music director, artistic director. Very simple, taken from our mission to enrich the community with powerful performances. It doesn't say classical music. It doesn't say anything that really limits us to what used to be 18th century, 19th century music. So the very first thing that comes to mind is the diversity. And I want to talk about musical diversity because that's a very important thing. I'm a product of the Viennese school. And for us in school, my teachers, when was diversity was, okay, you would not do the Beethoven second, you would do Schubert third symphony. That's about the diversity we could learn in school because that's a Viennese school. So we did all Beethoven and all Brahms and most important pieces by Mozart and Bruckner and Mahler. In fact, every concert has something unique. And I would like to see the season as a journey of 7 stops. If you go on tour, if you go to, on cruises or you go wherever, you will be visiting different places, but there is a connection behind it. You're doing something unique, something different. And again, if I would come back to my school time in Vienna, innovation would be pretty much, okay, you don't put the second violin here, put them here. That's why the innovative part of the concert. Switch the viola with the second violin. We will start a season with a project we did about 7 years ago, and it's called Carmina Burana. And I know it sounds like something exotic, but maybe it's time to talk about the translation of that. So first of all, it's Carmina, not Carmina, which I hear very often. And Carmina comes from the word Carmen. It's a song. In fact, there are a lot of people, mainly female, that has the name Carmen. Songs would be Carmina, that's Latin, and Burana stands for Bavarian. So these are Bavarian songs from the 11th, 12th century, found much later in the 18th century. Fun stories that monks were written, not exactly what we imagine from church people to write, but these are secular songs about love, drinking, fun. And the composer who wrote as Karl Orff wanted to give an image not just of the poems that he composed. You could envision dance and painting, etc. Most of the time, when Carmina Burana is done, it's without anything. It's just a chorus and the orchestra. Guess what? It's very difficult to put a big Carmina Burana production with dancing. Luckily, at the Granada Theater here, we have that. So that's why we have costumes, we will have dancers, stage with ballet, again, another way for us to collaborate with other arts organizations. And we have a few very interesting things, and that's the chorus part. Karl Orff, the composer, wrote for children chorus. Incredible experience for a child to be surrounded by professional musicians and singers. Hear this beauty is something that will accompany them for the rest of their lives. And the chorus that we will have on stage will be a sort of an all-star chorus from the community. And we will audition them and create our all-star chorus specifically for this. And I'm so happy that Brooks Firestone is here, is my partner in putting this together. Another project that I'm so happy is the next concert in November. We have a piece by a local composer, Cody Westheimer. It's titled Wisdom of the Sky, Water and Earth. It's a world premiere, so this is our commitment to new music. How do we balance the traditional heritage of classical music with new music, music of the future? We will have 2 Chumash leaders join us on stage to narrate and go along the music with some visuals, so it'll be a multimedia concert, again, something that's unique to our programming. Also, you probably realize that I talk during the last concerts. I started to talk only when all my teachers passed away, because if my teacher would have known that I talked during a concert, that wouldn't go too far. You know, the first conducting lesson, never open your mouth, because you have to show everything with your hands. And if you cannot do that, just forget this profession. Our January concert will continue something that is very important for us, and that's featuring music from Latin America. End of this month, actually May 1st and May 5th, music by Arturo Marquez. For music lover, Arturo Marquez is one of the most incredible composers. He became very famous after Gustavo Dudamel performed his Danzón number 2, that's the second dance. And it combines mariachi rhythms, but in a symphonic setup. So what Gustavo Dudamel did with the orchestra from Venezuela, the Simón Bolívar Orchestra, they toured literally the world. So Carnegie Hall, the Proms in London, Salzburg Festival, all the main stages in the world, they tour with this piece. Marquez became like a rock star. And guess what? He's coming to Santa Barbara to be with us, to continue that line. We have another piece next year, which is a violin concerto, also based on this kind of energetic Latin rhythms by Miguel de Aguila, and combining it with the Dvorak New World Symphony. Another project that I'm very happy about, and it's called Transformation. This is, again, another world premiere. Believe it or not, we do 2 world premieres by Ted Nash, a legendary jazz saxophone player. In fact, he is the sax player for Wynton Marsalis Jazz at Lincoln Center. He's often in Santa Barbara. Ask him if he would mind writing something for symphony orchestra, because I realized at the show that I saw the day before that a lot of the charts for the band, for the big band, he did. And I asked him, since I knew he was trained on the flute and clarinet, finally found a way to collaborate. So the piece is called Transformation. And if you think about it, every moment, that's our most important thing we could do, is transform you.
My own son, Eli Nash, has undergone a transformation as brave and fundamental as any I can think of, that from woman to man. His courage and clarity throughout his metamorphosis is incredibly personal to me, and one of the most meaningful that I can think of.
To boil it down to one oversimplified sentence, I am transgender.
Ted Nash's transformation is pretty incredible. So we also will have him starting with a classical piece and then transform into a jazz music. And since he is a jazz player, we will play Ravel Bolero. Ravel took a very simple, ancient dance, Spanish dance, called Bolero. Very simple. Transform this to a huge, gigantic, orchestral, powerful piece. So this is a transformation we hope you all get. You know, the film composer today are the rock stars of the industry. You know, what Beethoven was and what Schubert was and what Mozart was in time. Today is the John Williams and such. This is the caliber of musicianship. Most of our musicians play with John Williams. They know him well, they play his scores. Their appreciation that I see from the musicians toward a film composer is absolutely gorgeous. Another idea that we will do, and it's a theater piece. We are going to combine forces with ensemble theater, and we worked a lot with Jonathan Fox. I adore his staging. And this is an interesting story. Beethoven wrote to a friend of his a letter and said, I dreamt this interesting thing, and I had a feeling that I'm in the Far East, and all of a sudden I'm in Jerusalem, and then I woke up in Vienna, and he actually even write a little tune into it. So the composer, female composer, Ella Sharif, used this theme to write a piece, and she actually also quotes Beethoven music there. We wanted also to revive a piece that we commissioned about 10 years ago, and that's called Concerto Crossover, wonderful composer, Jonathan Leshner. And then interesting, concerto grosso means a big concerto, which, it's against the normal concertos. They have one soloist against the orchestra. In the concerto grosso, you have more soloists. And at that time, we worked with Jonathan to feature as many principal players of the orchestra. So we have 9 soloists. It's a beautiful way to showcase our fantastic musician caliber. We also have 2 pops concerts, the traditional New Year's Eve concert, as you all know, the best party in town, you don't want to miss that. But we also add Maestro Frank Sinatra, and with a beautiful singer. He's pretty much booked every day to do exactly that. And his name is Tony Desir. We worked a few times. I always packed the hall, so we know it's a good thing. From rock music to modern music, about 400 years of musical styles. And that also shows the caliber of the orchestra, because not a lot of places have the musicianship that feel at home to play classical, technical things, spiccato, whatever, all the technical things on the instrument, but also to swing. I worked in other places in the world where they said, oh, we should swing it, and it doesn't really move, it doesn't really get it. But these people who play in the film industry, they know how to play all the different styles with jazz, with mariachis, everything. So I couldn't be more happy to put together a season that reflects all the different styles. I hope you enjoyed the season, and thank you for your wonderful support.